did your child's assault on a teacher turn out to be deserved? My 10-year-old son got suspended after an incident with his teacher that the principal called a malicious assault. The principal called me at work, and her voice was shaking with rage. There's been a serious incident involving your son, and his teacher had to be freed by maintenance after being trapped at her desk for 2 hours. And we're considering expulsion because what happened this morning was deliberate and cruel, and I need you here immediately. I dropped everything and drove to the school with my mind racing because my son had never been in trouble before, and I couldn't understand what kind of incident would leave a teacher trapped at her desk. The tuition I'd worked overtime to afford was about to go down the drain, and the principal's words kept echoing in my head while I tried to imagine what my quiet kid could have possibly done. When I walked into the office, other parents were being called in too, and I heard one mother whisper, "That's the woman whose son attacked the teacher," while staring at me. My son sat in a plastic chair holding his tablet and looking completely calm, which made my stomach drop even further. "What did you do?" I asked, kneeling down to his level. "I fixed a problem that nobody else would fix," he said, holding up his tablet. The principal crossed her arms. "Your son used industrial adhesive to glue his teacher to her chair, and she's threatening to sue the district for emotional distress and physical endangerment." My heart stopped as I tried to process what I'd just heard. "You glued her to her chair?" I asked, barely able to get the words out. "Yes, and she deserved it," he said, turning the tablet toward me. "Watch this." The first video showed his teacher at her desk playing solitaire, while a girl with leg braces raised her hand for 5 straight minutes before limping over. "I don't understand the fractions because you gave me the wrong worksheet." The teacher never looked up. "Figure it out yourself. I'm busy." The girl's voice cracked. "But this is the advanced sheet and we haven't learned this." The teacher kept clicking her mouse. "Not my problem if you can't keep up." The next video showed a boy with thick glasses approaching her desk. "I can't read the board from the back row where you moved me." She waved him away. "Should have thought about that before failing yesterday's quiz." He started crying. "But I failed because I couldn't see the questions on the board." She actually turned her chair to face away from him. Video after video showed the same pattern with different struggling students getting dismissed while she did her nails or scrolled her phone. One showed a girl with a wrist brace unable to write fast enough while the teacher refused to give her extra time. Another caught the teacher eating lunch while a boy with crutches waited at her desk for help he never received. "I recorded these for 3 weeks," my son said steadily. "She only helps kids whose parents donate money or volunteer for fundraisers." The principal shifted uncomfortably. "These are serious allegations, but they don't excuse what you did." My son pulled up this morning's footage. "I knew something big would happen today because the superintendent was coming to evaluate teachers, and she always puts on a show when important people visit, so I put the adhesive on her chair before anyone arrived." The video showed the teacher sitting down just as the superintendent entered with 2 other administrators carrying clipboards. Within minutes, children started approaching for help just like always. "Can you help me with this problem?" asked a boy with a hearing aid. She tried to stand but couldn't budge. "Just bring it here," she said through gritted teeth, sweat beading on her forehead. More students lined up while she squirmed and pulled at her skirt, trying to free herself without alerting the evaluators. "Why don't you come to my desk?" asked a girl with a walking boot. "I can't get up right now," the teacher replied, her face turning red. The superintendent started taking notes as the line grew longer, and the teacher couldn't reach their papers or write on the board from her chair. "Is everything all right?" the superintendent finally asked. The teacher forced a smile. "Just feeling a bit under the weather today." One of the evaluators frowned. "The students seem to need help at their desks, but you're not providing individual support." The video showed the teacher's panic as more kids approached, and she had to keep making excuses while physically unable to move. My son fast-forwarded to when the superintendent asked her to demonstrate a math problem on the board, and she had to admit she was stuck to her chair. The superintendent called maintenance and then asked the students if this was normal, and every single one of them said yes, my son said. The principal was scrolling through the tablet, her face getting paler. "This shows a clear pattern of discrimination against students with disabilities, which violates federal law and could cost us millions." She looked at my son. "How many videos do you have?" He opened a folder containing over 200 files. I started recording when she made my autistic friend sit in the hallway because his hand movements annoyed her. The principal made a call, and within an hour, 3 school board members arrived to view the evidence, and after discovering she'd been the subject of dozens of ignored complaints over 5 years, they terminated the teacher's employment.